And welcome back. You're listening to the Bud Light ULM Football Tailgate Show here on the Warhawk Radio Network from Learfield. I'm Cory Crowe, and I want to remind you this evening that Bud Light wants to remind all the fans to stay in the game. Please drink responsibly. And you've got a lot of time to get out to Malone Stadium on ULM's campus. Joining us, Athletic Director John Hartwell. And John, it's a absolutely perfect day to come out and watch college football, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. About 85 minutes before kickoff, and you look out, and the shadows are starting to cast across. Obviously, has the home side filled now, so it's only about 85 degrees, which people who hadn't been here the last 2 or 3 weeks would say, "Well, gosh, that's pretty warm, isn't it?" But it feels wonderful. Little north breeze as you look at the flag blowing down there in the end zone. So, yeah, if you're listening to this, looking for something to do tonight, come on out and take in Warhawk football. I was doing an interview yesterday, and I'm like, hey, for a family of 4 or 5, it's probably I know it's a better bang for the buck, but cheaper than going to the movies for a family of 5. So come on out and support the Warhawks, and looking for an opportunity to go 2-0 for the first time in several years. So quite the night. I
met a family of 4 in the parking lot. They were here at 3 o'clock, and they said, "What do we do?" And they said, "Where do we buy tickets?" So I sent them, by the way, if you don't have tickets, go to Fant Ewing Coliseum during the week and on Saturday morning, and the baseball field as well, the ticket office there. Once the game gets started, tickets are available right up at the door, so no reason not to come out tonight. And no reason to come out and not support the Warhawks. A big, big win over Army. What does that mean for the program?
Yeah, there were so many positives out of last Saturday's game. And not the least of which our crowd support was really, really good. And, my first game here, other than a game, 10, 11 years ago when I was the AD at Troy. But I tell you, the thing that really made the hair on my arms stand on end was obviously the touchdown pass there at the end of the game. But as our team came back out, as kickoff coverage team came back out, and you could hear the student crowd, which was outstanding in and of itself, start the ULM, and started on the east side of the stadium, and then the west side did it, and it started reverberating back and forth. And I'm like, man, this is a pretty good atmosphere. This gives us something to build on. So again, a great win, so many good things. Hunter Herring comes in, jump starts the offense but the one thing, defense kept us in that game.
Five turnovers in the game on the other side of the ball. The Warhawks able to capitalize, and the defense holds them to no touchdowns as well.
Yeah, really played well, and I look to see that continue tonight. And but Lamar's going to be ready to play. We are the only FBS game on their schedule, so they're going to come in here hyped up, wanting to pull off the upset. And hey, history will tell you. You look every year, there are 6, 8, 10 games a year where FCS opponents beat FBS opponents. So we've got to be ready. I think we've had a really good week of practice. Coach Bowden has done a nice job of reminding the guys, hey, you can't rest on your laurels of last week and be looking forward to next Saturday in College Station. You got to take care of business here today against Lamar.
I want to ask you a little bit. We're speaking with John Hartwell, the athletic director at ULM. Your game day routine. Now, mine got thrown off a little bit by that balloon last week that some sorority girl let fly into the power line, and that got my day all off to a crazy start. Tell me about how you celebrate your Saturdays, and what's your game day routine like?
Yeah, mine wasn't very routine last week either, other than the referee. I was down on the field about 5:30, and about 5 minutes later you start to see some of the lights going out, and the new video board goes out, and the referee is out on the field during warm-ups at that time, and he comes over to me, and I have known him for a while. He was in our league when I was the AD at Troy, and he says, "Hey, John," he goes, "we got to have a plan here." So, Michael Gammon came over. I got Mike Buddy, who is my counterpart at Army, who I've known for a long time, we all huddled and said, hey, we're going to try to play as much of this as we can, but we've got to make the assumption we're not going to get power back. So until we do, we've got to speed this thing along. That's when you came into play, Cory, with the bullhorn. And
I just happen to have a bullhorn in the front of my car, too. And I went out and got it.
Hey, you never know when you're going to need that. But we hurried up the national anthem and the pregame routine. And I'll say this, our band and our cheer squad, did a great job of helping us improvise because, again, at that time there was no power. We didn't have an indication when it was going to be back on. And we were trying to get in as much of the game as we could, before not knowing when it was going to be restored. So I was down on the sidelines until, right before halftime because the referee said, hey, I need you to stay here and your counterpart to stay close by in case we have anything we need to, to deal with. So, but on a typical game day, I try to bunch as many of my on-the-field presentations as I can in the first quarter, maybe the beginning of the second quarter. I think I have 3 or 4 today, and the last one being the first time out of the second quarter. Then I'll make my rounds, try to go through the suites over on the east side, go through Tailgate Terrace, visit some of the M Club folks, and then come upstairs at halftime, visit through the skyboxes and the President's Suite. And my goal is by the time we get to the fourth quarter, I like finding some place where I can go watch football and I don't have to listen to the side commentary and everything else. So you may see me sneaking away, or I may even tuck myself in, right along the sideline somewhere. So that will be my typical game day. And then, sticking around afterwards, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, I'm an early riser anyway, but usually on game day, I'm up about 4:45. The excitement of game day, no matter how many years you go through it, whether as a student athlete or, as an administrator or a coach, those juices still get flowing, and I'm amped up all day. And a lot of times my wife just says, get out of the house.
I was here at 7 a.m. ready to go this morning, and I do the same thing. I come out and get all my gear set up, and then I like to make the rounds and see people, and then I have to go through the tailgate area counterclockwise. If I go clockwise, it doesn't turn out good. I go counterclockwise and come up here and do the radio show.
Well, I have learned in short order, and I actually went a week ago Friday for Friday lunch, but Buddy's tailgate spot out there, Buddy's got a corner on the cooking market out there, and I haven't made it much past his spot because his food is delicious.
I have to say this. He's probably listening right now. I got here so early, Buddy did not have breakfast ready this morning. That's how early it was. He was just coming out of his motorhome making coffee. So anyway, we're going to get him on here too. He used to be the engineer for this show back in the dark ages. He was the engineer, traveled all over the country doing this show, doing all the technical stuff.
I did not know that. He must have had to give that up to take the role of the mayor of the Grove.
I think that's how that works. John Hartwell's our guest. John, before I let you get out of here, the Sun Belt Conference, it has stepped up play a lot. It used to be down towards the lower level. This thing is quickly turning into one of the premier conferences in the country.
Yeah, it really is. And, you look every week and we've got a great group of athletic directors in our league, very, very close-knit. I think we're all like-minded in our desire for success, not only for our individual institutions, but our league. And unless we're going head-to-head, we're cheering for each other. And, you look today, you've got James Madison beating Virginia. You've got App State up on North Carolina right now. So, some great wins over Power 5 schools. And, again, that obviously helps the school that wins, just like it helped both ULM and Army last week. ULM and the Sun Belt Conference when we beat Army last week. But, the more of those out-of-conference, high-profile wins we can have, the better it is for everybody and for our league.
Before I let you go, ULM soccer is just red hot right now.
Yeah, they are 5-0-2 right now, still undefeated. Got a big match tomorrow over in Starkville against Mississippi State, but they are doing a tremendous job. and come out and see them play. They'll start. They're winding down in their non-conference play. We'll start Sun Belt play here in about 10 days. But fantastic, and I'd be remiss if I didn't echo. I know Coach Rachel Pollock was on right before me, but our women's golf team picking up right where they left off last spring with the victory in the tournament in Mobile last week.
And had a Sun Belt Player of the Week this week too.
Yeah, how about that? Freshman and step right on campus, first meet or first tournament, and she's Sun Belt Player of the Week.
John, thank you for coming by. We'll let you get on with your game day routine. Go see the folks you need to. Want to remind you folks listening via radio right now, plenty of time to get out here tonight. We're at Malone Stadium. Weather's perfect. You don't even need a jacket tonight. It is going to be absolutely gorgeous this evening. Come out and support the Warhawks.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, tickets available. You've got a little over an hour, so come out, look for an exciting night of Warhawk football tonight, and looking to go 2-0. Go Warhawks.
That's John Hartwell joining us on the Bud Light Tailgate Show. A reminder, St. Francis Health is suited up and ready to meet your unique health care needs. At St. Francis Health, they put in the hard work, because when it comes to your health, every day is game day. St. Francis Health, proud to be the official medical provider of the Warhawks. And Guerrero, proud to be the official law firm of the ULM Warhawks. Go Warhawks and go Guerrero. And don't forget, Bud Light wants to remind all fans, stay in the game today, drink responsibly. You're listening to the Bud Light ULM Football Tailgate Show here on the Warhawk Radio Network from Learfield.
Thank you, sir.
And we're
Thank
back
you.
with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever. That's